So, so we talked about how you guys got started in a little over well, not quite 2 years now. But what is a typical session like? So we had a session, but we had a couple that came out with us. We projected some plans, but tell us what you see because you do this every day. What are most of your walk your plan sessions like? How do they go?
Yeah, so just to give you a little bit of a peek behind the curtain. So when you come to our facility in Roswell, we've got a 6,000 square foot warehouse and a 4,000 square foot showroom in the back of our building. And what we have is some really expensive and really cool projectors. So what those projectors do is they actually project your floor plans at life-size scale. So you're able to actually step inside your floor plan. It's accurate down to the inch. And so when you come into our studio, we've got all of that ready to go. We've actually got walls on wheels. We've got furniture on wheels. So we've got a lot of really incredible tools that allow you to truly start to experience your space before it's built.
Yeah, one of my favorite things that Mark, your partner, did with our clients was, he was everywhere. Because he was like, which was great. Like he was rolling around the laptop on a cart, but he was like rolling out the walls, rolling out the furniture, the couches, and it helped. It was huge. It was like having a bed in the bedroom for us to kind of see, because our clients would sit down on the bed and then walk through their day. They would be like, okay, do I have enough space to put on my slippers in the morning, kind of thing.
Yeah. And that's one of the most common things that we tell people, right? Is it's one thing to look at your floor plan as you're going through this process of building a custom home, which is a really big undertaking to begin with, but it's another to actually step inside of it and feel it for form and function in your day-to-day life. And that's really what we do every day at Walk Your Plans.
Yeah, and that's what we want. I mean, we talk a lot during the design process, not to get off track into that part quite yet, but it ties into what you're saying. And I'm going to take a really quick time out to welcome Kalyn. She snuck in. She's our business partner.
Yes, hello.
At Rainer. Hey, hey, Kalyn, how are you?
Sorry. Yeah, apologies, guys. I'm solo parenting tonight, and toddler had a complete meltdown. So, apologies.
Oh yeah, I know Phil can get kind of cranky when he doesn't have dinner on time, can't he? Oh wait, I'm sorry, your daughter Evie. That's
right.
Well, Kalyn, this is Mary. Kalyn's my business partner along with
Mary.
James.
Nice to see you.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Hey, these kind of podcasts, we can like do it, whatever. We can totally fumble the intro if we want, like I did before you joined, or we can go off track.
There you go.
Yeah, but Mary, what I was saying is in the design process, kind of what you were saying about experiencing your home before it's built, like that was such a big deal. That was kind of eye-opening because our clients, we try to walk them through like, what does a day look like for you? Mm-hmm. And not just because it's easy to, you're designing a home and you get caught up in how's it going to look? And there's Instagram and there's a lot of things, Pinterest, that inform and, get people creative and excited. It's why they will come to us. It's the total reason that they're partnering with us is because they enjoy the creativity of it. But there's also all that function and flow and daily living. And I love that we had an opportunity to walk that through with our clients when we visited with you. So yeah, let's keep talking about what it's like when they're out there, because I'm curious from your perspective, because you see a lot of clients, obviously more than we do on the regular walking plans. What are some of the most common things that people will, I guess, respond to? What's the kind of feedback, or what are the things that people spend the most time on when they're walking plans?
Yeah, so I'll tell you, one of the coolest parts of our jobs is that we get to see so many different projects. So while I know we're focused on residential, we do also get to see a ton of commercial projects, medical facilities. We've seen churches, we've seen car dealerships. So we've really seen it all. And so, but the majority of what we see is certainly on the residential side. And what we generally find is, although I will tell you, we somehow saw a 30,000 square foot home get bigger while they were there. That's the exception, not the rule. So people generally aren't making huge structural changes when they're there. It ends up being like the 10 to 15 little things that would impact the way you live your day-to-day life, like a door swing, or making sure that kitchen island accommodates, because the reality of it is if your, family's in a certain stage of life, you're probably eating more meals at the kitchen island than you are around the kitchen table.
Yeah,
and so
that's
you want to make
point.
sure, you want to make sure that you're built for, your home is built for that, whatever stage of life you're in. But then conversely, one of the other really interesting things that we're seeing a lot more of lately is we're seeing people who are planning for aging in place or multi-generational living. And so when you start to introduce some of those factors, the conversations can become a little bit different. So you're planning not only for today, but you're planning for tomorrow.
Yeah. How wide are these entryways?
Exactly. And so, and then the other thing I would tell you that we see a lot of is we find that a lot of people have come in and they've spent a lot of times on what I would call some of the fun spaces, their kitchen, their primary bedroom, some of those spaces that are more lived in, but then they get into our facility and they step inside something like a guest bedroom that they probably hadn't really thought all that much about. And that's the moment where they realize, oh, I maybe need to pay a little bit of attention to form and function of this space as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally eliminating. I mean, I'm in my house, I rarely go into my guest bedroom.
Yep.
So when you're designing, but it's an important place, like your powder room. And yeah, you're going to get to walk this and experience it as though it's there and really go, wow, do I have enough room to get around? We had our clients, I remember when we were there, to your point, they were toying with, and they had a very good follow-up session with our architect, James, based on what they noticed during their session with y'all. But it was just that functional thing. Like, is this doorway wide enough? Do these pocket doors, are they going to work if we move this wall around? So, I mean, maybe they were going to stick with the design anyway, but they asked some very important questions that I don't think they would have asked. I honestly don't. I think it would have been harder for them to visualize. So,
well, and I think on the professional side, what's really interesting, and it's fun for us to watch, is clients are physically in a different space. They're in a different environment. And so it evokes a lot of emotional and physical and just, I think, more thoughtful conversations and really interesting reactions because they are just in a more immersive environment. So on the professional side, we frequently get the feedback. One of my favorite pieces of feedback we got was, Mary, we made 2 months of decisions in 2 hours. So that's one of the benefits as well.
Yeah, that's great. What a great statement to hear.
Yeah, exactly.